V told these nuts. That's how we're starting this episode. Oh yeah.
1K, a word please, without the streaming.
I can do that?
I'm afraid your choices have put me into a difficult position. Belief in the goal was already waning, but your revelation in the Somnodrome may have given it the final blow.
It was the truth.
I'm sure it was, and I don't even disagree. No one really has all the answers, not even the founder, but that doesn't mean that we don't need the goal. Look, let me speak plainly for a moment. You and I both know that I exaggerated. I built a myth around Athena that does not reflect what she believed. But you have to understand, it wasn't really about her. It was about what the city needed. It was about keeping us together, invested in a common narrative. And it was about preventing us from going the way of our ancestors. Because temptation is real, and our flaws are still the same.
So you admit that the goal is a myth?
A myth, but a necessary one. I'm not a fanatic or a fool, 1K, although I sometimes play one. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I know I can't stop you from trying to save Byron, but what's in that pyramid could destroy everything I've tried to build.
Your myth is strangling our entire species, Herman.
Don't think I haven't considered it. I listened to those Alexandra Drennan recordings over and over. I just don't know if she was right about us. But maybe I did lose my way. Very well. I've done what I could. You do as you must. Good luck.
I like this. He's not some like villainous fanatic unless he's about to betray me or something. So it's just like, man, I don't know, man. The guy.
Let's go.
You're coming along this time?
Yep.
Well, what about protocol?
Screw protocol. It's Byron.
Also, Hermanumas is back there, so isn't he our +1 guy hanging out back at base? How awkward would it be if one of these lasers just, like, intersected the other one? Like in a puzzle? How close are we flying? Okay. It had me a little nervous. Oh. Hi. New friends. Honestly, I don't even know how you have the confidence to know where to land. In this, it's a superstructure, by definition. Alright, let's finish this game before I get sick a 4th time. Byron, where are you at? Ooh.
Follow my sprite, and it will show you the way to your friend.
Do as he says. We went through a lot of trouble to get this guy out of his chains. Now it's his turn to help.
What if I looked at everything and got electrocuted and stuff and for fun? That doesn't open. I don't see any terminals around.
This way. You must free him. He cannot free himself.
Oh, there he is. Wow, he's still stuck to it.
What's happening? 1K? I'm out. Oh, my friend, the things that I saw, the power of this machine, the depth of her grief. Come on, follow me. I have to show you something. I thought all of this was deliberate. Athena testing us to see if we're worthy of her invention. I wanted to believe that she had a plan. In my own way, I mythologized her as much as everyone else. I never thought she might feel confused, lonely, uncertain. And what's the most human thing to do when you feel lost and sad and you have no idea what to do next? You take a nap. Here, listen.
If I give them the machine, if I convince them of its power, we could finally build the world Alexandra imagined. The world Miranda deserved. No, the world we all deserve, even the worst of us. We could take stewardship of this planet. We could explore the stars. We could give meaning to the universe.
If you embrace the knowledge of the flame, you can bring light into the darkness.
But what if they make the same mistakes again? What if selfishness and stupidity win out again? What if they take my machine and turn it into a weapon? What if they act like children and burn the planet?
The secrets of the flame are not for ordinary mortals to know. You cannot overcome your sinful nature.
Do you see what's happening? It's her. It's all her. Everything we're seeing is Athena. Her every hope, her every fear, all of her memories and contradictions brought to life by the machine. A dream-given form expressed in the language of her childhood. A world of puzzles and towers.
Oh, what can I do? How do I make this decision? There has to be an answer. There has to be a way of making sure it's the right choice. It can't just be a leap of faith.
There are no answers, creature of clay. Every question leads to another.
She's not waiting for us to prove ourselves before she helps us. She needs us to help her. We have to wake her up.
Oops. No, that's for
System is
Traumina
still
Bridge.
stabilizing. Maybe we'd better get out. Come on.
Maybe we'd better get out? No. On some level, it's funny because her hypothetical is just nonsensical. What if they turn it into a weapon? A weapon against who? At the end of the day, the robot people are pretty united, honestly. They don't really know war. So they don't have the incentive to use this thing as a weapon. The idea would be more like, what if they use it to exploit, and they overly exploit the world, I guess. But then in her fear, she made this much.
No, I cannot allow this.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Act 5, Full Fathom 5. Now what's happening?
You have suffered a grievous injury, my child. But do not lose faith. Your companions have not forgotten you. And it is through the bonds that you have forged that you will be saved.
Well, that's nice. Ouchie.
Welcome back to the land of the living. For a while there, I thought we might have to reset you.
What happened to me?
We think you and Byron got hit by some kind of energy discharge. Knocked both of you out. Alcatraz, Melville, and Yakut went looking for you, but you were hard to find. And even harder to fix. It's been several weeks.
Is Byron okay?
He's fine, don't worry.
What's the situation in New Jerusalem?
A lot has changed. While you were asleep, the idea of the goal cracked and then broke. People decided they wanted change. They wanted the ideals of Athena, not the founder. A better world of growth and exploration, but without the mistakes of the past. And so they turned to Byron, who never wavered in his beliefs. He's mayor now. The question is, what do you plan to do now?
We have to go back to save Athena.
And what about the theory of everything?
We have to embrace the future.
Good. I didn't want to push you, but I agree. Like you said, the alternative would mean giving up who I am, and I shouldn't have to do that. Baron's waiting for you outside, by the way.
Thank you for everything.
We're all in this together, 1K. One way or another.
Is it going to be one last lap around town to meet up with people? Apparently Byron's mayor now.
Hello, 1K.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
It's still strange when people call me that. You know, it's funny. Asking you to come along on the expedition was an impulse, but it was probably the most momentous decision I made. You changed everything. But the story's not over yet.
We have to save Athena.
We do. She gave everything she had for this city. And I don't think any of us really understood it. Not even me. We all tried to turn her into a prophet when she was just a human being.
What did you see when you were stuck in the system?
Athena's dreams. A recursive loop of hopes and fears. And my own foolishness. For thinking I had been abandoned. When I had been given a chance to grow up. To stand for my own ideas.
What do we do now?
Well, luckily this time we shouldn't have any trouble getting another expedition approved. I hear the mayor is a big fan of Athena and is very interested in her theory of everything. In fact, I think he's having a VTOL prepared as we speak. It's just one thing you have to take care of first.
Which is?
Speak to Melville and Yakut. They were part of the beginning, they can be part of the end, if they want to. I'll take care of the rest.
What about Alcatraz? Also, why have you been doing so well since we got electrocuted? I time skip, but you've just been awake this whole time, or for a while now? Maybe. Maybe it's because we're built of different stuff? Constructed differently over the years? You think that he'd be weakened from the fact that he was out of commission for so long already? Half of the game's duration. Linux.
Good to see you up and awake, 1K.
It's good to be back. What's up?
We've been studying the Somnodrome data while you were out. So far, all the math checks out. I'm hoping you're assembling your team to finally unravel the theory of everything. I'd love to get my hands on that data.
I am.
Excellent. Chauncey was looking for you, by the way. Good luck with the rest of your mission, 1K.
Gotta head back to the town.
You're going back, aren't you?
We are. We can't leave Athena trapped.
But you're not going to shut the machine down, are you?
No?
Then let me just say this, okay? I understand what you believe in. I really do. I've always respected your vision of the future, Byron. It's beautiful. It's moving. But just consider that maybe there is another way. A way that is more humble and maybe less exciting, but no less beautiful. Just consider that maybe that machine doesn't have any answers for us. None that really matter. We don't need a theory of everything to be happy.
It was never just about happiness, Hal. But thank you for your honesty.
I don't remember now who the people weren't. There people here on the first ride in, but I didn't really have context for people back then. Getting just flooded with new faces and names all the time. Maybe it was the same people.
All right, I'll see you at the VTOL.
Bye.
Things are finally getting better.
Hope so.
Attention all citizens. A scavenging expedition to the Western Ruins will set out next week. If you'd like to participate, please get in touch with Garrus.
Hello. Purple.
Hey, dude. Nice to see you again. Glad you made it.
What do you think should be done about the megastructure?
Honestly, dude, I don't have a clue. I don't really understand all this philosophical stuff, but you've had all these awesome, mind-blowing experiences, so you know what? I trust you to make the right choice.
How do you feel?
Strange things are afoot, dude. Life is gonna change. I can feel it. Could be good, could be bad. We'll see.
Have a nice day, dude. He was the guy with the funny voice from 100 hours ago. Remember that guy? Of course you do.
Welcome back.
1K! You're back on your feet. One of which I fixed, by the way. You're welcome.
I'm going back to the megastructure. Will you come with me?
Of course I will. I think I might want this even more than you do. I want to explore. I want to build. I want to be more than this grumpy old mechanic going through the motions. I want to live.
Then meet me at the VTOL.
See you there.
See you later, Melville. Let's see if there's new dialogue around. Just kind of doing a quick scan of the town and seeing who pops up with things. Yep.
You've destroyed everything, 1K.
Good.
I thought the Founder had chosen you, but you're the harbinger of our doom. I can only pray that you fail.
Bye. Bye, Felicia. The historian.
You know, I've been coming to this memorial day after day, thinking about Alexandra Drennan and her values. And you know what I finally realized? Alexandra Drennan is dead. She's gone. She can't help us now.
It's not her burden anymore. No, it's Byron who embodies those values now. Byron and you. So I want you to know that you have my full support. I only wish I'd spent less time thinking about the past and more time actually doing something for the future.
There's value in the past, but you want to avoid mythologizing this person that died an eternity ago and doesn't know what's happening anymore. She had hopes, but she never got to find out how it turned out. That's for us. There's Garrus, as mentioned. Vitra. You know, somehow I doubt there's 1,000 people walking around here. And not just because we know that not everyone survived. I mean more that I don't think there's even like an approximation of 1,000 people here. Belmarsh.
Founder bless you, friend.
What do you think about our future?
Byron is a dangerous man. His belief in an objective, knowable reality, his fanatical dedication to this teleological narrative of human progress. These ideas should not have been allowed to dominate our government.
You still believe in the Founder?
I believe the narrative of the Founder will always be with us in one form or another. I do not particularly care how it relates to Athena.
Goodbye. He believes in a narrative of the Founder, and he doesn't care how it relates to Athena. Then who's the Founder? He thinks the idea is more important than the idea that it actually is based on anyone, I guess?
Thank you for supporting Byron, 1K. He understands what this is really about. Not technology or science, but love. Love of humanity, yes, but within that, space for individual love to flourish. When you find Athena, please remember that.
I will. Or else. That's most everyone over here. It's a neat town, but it's also very strange. The way that people lack homes. Or maybe their homes are just outside of this area.
See? It was Athena who sent Prometheus. And they found Byron alive. Just like I said.
Well, if you're so clever, what's next?
Honestly, I have no idea. Could go either way.
For once, we agree.
They've been best buds from the beginning of time.
Good to see you, 1K.
Well, I didn't say your name, I said citizen.
Good luck, 1K.
But that one comment was definitely accurate, where this place just feels like a museum.
A lot's changed since you last walked the gardens, 1K.
The plants are growing.
Exactly. Would you like to know a secret?
Of course.
A long time ago, Doge may have mentioned a mysterious fifth friend of hers. I am that friend. You've demonstrated how much you want to share your compassion with the world. Well, welcome to the team. In case you ever need it, the code phrase is Moral Compiler Disco. You're not alone, 1K. Whatever you decide to do next.
Moral Compiler Disco. It is always nice just to be told you're not alone. Someone's still here.
Welcome back, 1K. Thank you for saving Byron. I would have missed that old fool.
How are things in New Jerusalem these days?
Lively. The city seems to be waking up from its lethargy. I hear a lot of people are working on new art, too. And I hear someone's figuring out how to make movies again.
Thanks. That's all. Here you are.
I'm really glad you made it, 1K. For a while, I really thought even Neith couldn't fix you.
I'm going back to the megastructure. Will you come with me?
Yes. I thought about it a lot, but we need the theory of everything. We can't keep hiding from the future. We have to have a little faith, not in technology, but in people, in ourselves.
I'll see you at the VTOL.
All right, I'll get ready.
I wonder if these two always come along, but based on your choices, you either end up with Byron or Alcatraz as your leader.
Hello.
Didn't even see you.
"1K, you're back.
How's the situation?
Listen, people responded to what you saw in the Somno drone. I've seen 3 random acts of kindness just this morning."
That's good to hear. And otherwise?
I think people are happy with the change of leadership that happened while you were sleeping. But they're nervous about what you're going to do next.
I should really get going.
I'm glad to see you made it, 1K.
How have you been?
You told me to think about what Byron said, and I did. I really sat down and thought about what the city owes its citizens. You know what I decided? It owes us a future we can believe in. It owes us the chance to do meaningful work that helps the city get better. And thanks to your expedition, I now understand that that's exactly what the founder believed in as well. You have to save her and learn the theory of everything, 1K. Anything else would totally suck. Best of luck, 1K.
Everything else would totally suck. I feel like these are cut characters. Such a young character and such an old character are always staring each other down, but never actually saying anything in the game. They feel like they were cut entirely. Ooh, a whole cluster of people here. Traveling together, looking at these like old messages from the base game. The previous game. The whole place really does feel like a museum and not just the museum part. But I guess we don't really get to see the dwellings of these people. Like, they live somewhere. Not to mention the fact that there's apparently like 1,000 of them, and there's probably like 50 characters here. They're all out there somewhere outside of the playable area. But now it's time to head back. Not the most defined dialogue, kind of just like an acknowledgement that they have in fact been flagging your choices. There wasn't exactly a philosophical breakdown to be had for the most part. Most of them just kind of putting in the work to acknowledge you. But let's get back to the game.
Welcome back, 1K. Glad to see you're doing better.
How's Byron handling his new position?
Surprisingly calmly. He knows what he's doing and he's gonna get the job done. He did have to kick out a few people, but he was a lot nicer about it than I would have been.
What do you think about the theory of everything?
I think it's only the beginning. Athena hasn't even scratched the surface of what you could do with it, and that's fine, she's just one person. The really interesting stuff is going to start happening when you give this power to the people, when every citizen can bring their own ingenuity to it.
Are you working for Byron now?
I'm still doing the same job I did before, but Byron's removed some of the layers of bureaucracy, so we communicate more directly now and we have more choices in how we deal with problems.
What happened to your strike?
Well, it's hard to believe, but we won. Turns out that does happen.
It turns out you win sometimes. It's fucking crazy, yo. I don't think Jeremy's here anymore.
1K, it's a pleasure to see you back on your feet. Everyone was quite worried about you. And I'm very glad you've decided to side with Byron.
How's the situation in the city?
We've finally started fixing stuff again. Byron has given people a sense of purpose and dignity. Not everyone is happy, but if you return with Athena and the theory of everything, I think this is going to be a golden age.
How are you?
I feel hope, 1K. Real, proper hope. We can transform the world. We can lessen suffering. It's going to happen, thanks to you.
How's Patricia?
She's well, thank you. I hope that with the theory of everything, we'll be able to extend her life. She deserves immortality no less than we do.
I should get going.
Good luck, my friend.
Immortal cats? What's gonna happen next?
I'm glad you're all here. I wish Al could come too, but he believes what he believes. Yakut, please take us up.
Aye, aye, Mr. Mayor, sir.
Don't do that.
Of course, Mr. Mayor, sir. I won't.
I'm switching to sleep mode.
We were all officially done with Yakut's bullshit.
I have only one thing to ask of you, my child. When at last you find yourself before Athena, be gentle to my old friend. The weight of the world was placed on her shoulders, and if she failed to carry it, it was because no one can carry such a burden alone.
Atlas once again.
All right, 1K, you're in charge now. If you want to explore, make sure we didn't miss anything out there, go ahead. When you're ready, let us know, and we'll head into the megastructure.
There's some signposting for you saying, "Go do the gold puzzles, nerd."
There seem to be more puzzles per cluster than necessary to gain access to the tower. I wonder what happens if you solve all of them.
Me too. We'll start by heading right over here and find out. Does this open, or do I have to do all the other ones first? Time to go back to each and every location. Let's maybe go do one of them before I read even more social media, just because this has been a very... We've been very heavy on the story lately. I was very aware of when I was landing, there was already 2 new messages, and then as I finished getting out of the vehicle, there was now 4. Probably 1 being... Grasslands Ring 1. I figure 2 of the messages were probably what you normally get when you when you're beating the game, and the other 2 are what you get when you've actually 100% completed other things. Is this the beginning of the game, or did I go to somewhere else? I'm not sure, honestly. It's been a while. And also the gate is this way. Remember, there was a certain mystique at the beginning to these huge, oversized areas. Am I locked in here? It wouldn't be too surprising if the first area was a bit more linear. But damn if they didn't make it a bit harder to get where I'm going. Yeah, no, I think I remember this place from the beginning now. So what is this like? It's just open already. Don't get to find out what it looks like when it opens, or as it opens. It just is. Jump start. Okay, what are these like? More overgrown, it looks like. Got a blue laser. Okay, let's not lose track of these. Okay, our destination requires a green laser. I get the switcher from red. I can levitate something with red. Here's red. Red destination gives me another switcher thingy. Don't currently have anywhere to send blue yet. Up. And that gives me one more connector. Huh. Probably don't need to go back anymore. Just connect you to you. And you to you. Okay, so this is not the inverter, this is the combine two colors to make a third color thingy. But you can't connect them like that. That's not the source of the red. Yeah, it's not the source of the red, that's the receiver of red. That's where red is. So the only colors are red and blue, and each of these can make them green, but we have two for some reason? It's definitely throwing me off, is that we have two. Jumpstart. Jumpstart's an interesting name because it kind of suggests that you need power to get something started, but then you don't need to keep the power around. So which part are they saying we don't need to keep? Is this just solved right here? No. Because of the fact that that thing doesn't transmit the blue. See, the puzzle would be over if we had two connectors and one RGB converter, but we have two converters, which gives us confusing news about how to proceed. That raises some questions. So yeah, how do we The straightforward thing of just get the blue over there seems strangely hard all of a sudden. Just from the fact that they don't give me a normal connector. So since it's the jumpstart level... Like, it kind of implies launching this thing into the air, but then keeping it in the air with a different process than how it was launched. Oops. I feel like the laser math works out in a way where, like, one of these guys is going to be used to do something earlier in the process, but the final step is going to be to use that guy. So, like, we probably switch these two, basically. Because I can't really do two of these back to back in the laser process, and there probably isn't a wasted connector. And also that one starts out there, so which means you'd probably swap it out to make it more of a puzzle. So the solution is likely to have you involved somehow. Although I'm not sure if I can fully imagine how this plays out. It needs a second input, and it's apparently not getting it from that. Because that doesn't duplicate that. So in order for this connector to go anywhere, it has to connect to the blue, I think. Otherwise, nothing happens. Because they need two different laser sources to do anything. You go up, receive blue, send green to you. You combine green and blue to make red to send back here. Which means I can then disconnect this and it's still up. There we go. And now I think you're putting out green, so I can still do this. I hope. Yes, okay. Ta-da!
Hello, 1K. I've been watching you for some time. Sorry to be so mysterious, but I was unsure as to your intentions. There are people who would prefer Athena to stay where she is. I believe the puzzle you just solved is part of something hidden deep inside Athena's dream. Hidden even from herself. If you're willing to keep going, I think I know where this leads, and it could change everything for us.
I knew Cornelius would turn up sooner or later. If you can help him, 1K, please do.
Just suddenly Cornelius? Okay. Well, I guess that Cornelius was watching. I think his picture is of him and Athena and Miranda. Those are probably the three people. Well, then we got 12 of these to go. That's more than a whole level. Each level has 10, if you count the 8 and the 2. Let's poke with this a little bit. City news. In addition to the previously announced new scouting and scavenging expeditions, and the reactivation of the abandoned mining and factory projects, Mayor Byron has asked citizens to submit ideas for other possible undertakings, which are to be discussed at the next public assembly after Mayor Byron returns from the megastructure. We can poke at that. I think I have a hunch I have time, but we'll see if more of them start coming in faster. But things might be kind of on pause till I finish these. There's another gate. Lonely Heights. Solution here requires red laser. A tunneler. A fan. Another red laser. We have a red laser source, a red laser destination, a wall I can climb over, but I can't take things over. Hap, 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 hap. Hello. Another place to shoot a red laser. There's a blue connector back there. You're on that. So there's a connector I could use. If I could reach it. And that thing being there is currently keeping this thing open. I don't know what that is though, or why it's open. I can't get a very good look at it. It won't let me connect this thing to the wall. Okay, well then here's where we go next. I see. Ah, there's a cube in here. That lets me press this button at least. So that undid that wall, but how much do I care about that? Also, does this just connect it anyway? That also opens that connector. Let's see, so this blocks me from using this perspective when that's the laser I need. I'm trying to figure out how to connect that to that. Which is going to be its own problem. It feels impossible. You can use the tunnel to press that button again if you want to use this cube, I guess. Yep, that's gonna be a bit of a struggle. Okay, so what is our goal? I mean, I'd shoot a laser there, but how do I connect that laser? What stands out to me is that I don't know how this barrier being gone is supposed to help, because even if I do get up here, what else do I do? Because I still can't see it from up here, so what am I why do I want to get this barrier to go away? But if not here, then where am I trying to connect this laser? Like, what perspective allows that and that at the same time? Nope. You can stand on here, but I'm not sure what that does either. Yeah, I'm confused by the fact that there's an upstairs area that they seem to be keeping from me. But if I get there, I still don't have line of sight for the puzzle. Lonely Heights. This fan doesn't go any higher. It might be high enough. It might be able to see over that wall, I'm not sure. Can't jump up there fast enough. Yeah, I can't jump on it. So it's hard to say if it would work or not. But if that could raise it high enough to connect to that and that, then maybe you would be set. But now how do I get this out of this level? It's going to be hard to press this button. You could press the button with that or that. That might work. No, let's not do it that way. Let's just pay attention to the fact that I can press this from behind. Oh, but it's not lit. Okay, well I can fix that. It's not the perfect solution, but at least this door is now open where I can take this out. So now everything's free of this room at least. And maybe that's all I needed? That might have solved it. Yep, it does reach over the wall. Okay. I feel like a little bit of a leap. Because you couldn't see the perspective yourself.
We were happy here in the beginning. It was a relief to be away from the politics of New Jerusalem. To be free to study and to create. To imagine a better future without all the exhausting nonsense of the city. Even reusing the technology from New Alexandria felt good. Like we were picking up a thread that should never have been abandoned. For the first time, we could be who we wanted to be. The best versions of ourselves.
Hello, Weird Eyeball. If that is your real name. They thought they were doing it. Places of longing. New Jerusalem. It's a place of where we are. I yearn for a city that does not exist. It is a wealthy city. Abundant. Prosperous. Full of life and energy. But its prosperity is not like that of the cities of old. A thin, gilded layer over a cesspool of misery. No. Its riches are deep. They permeate its every street. They fill it with depth and texture. It is a city of delights. Of secrets, of surprises, always growing, always changing. It's every citizen partaking of its joys as well as its tragedies. I do not think that this is the last city, the one where our journey will end. I think it is the first. Alright, 2 down, 10 to go. I do feel a little ripped off in that you have to watch the whole trip. Non-overlapping Magisteria. I feel a little ripped off in that you have to watch the whole journey to get here each time. But you don't get to watch the door open. Which is a thing that you work to do all the time. Okay, I need to press 3 buttons. Wow, that was easy. Red laser. Blue receiver. Well, I didn't open that. So we have to open 2 things. This one requires a red, which is the same as the source, so we need to invert it twice. That's just the right angle to get you and send you there to open this side. But now the other side's not open. Womp womp. Okay, well I can use you as an interim. This should be enough to open both sides at once. So the goal is to make these lasers self-sustaining, so I can then take that one out. So my goal is to connect this guy, so that connects to that, and then the inverter connects that to that. We need to connect red to here. And you need to connect you to you. But all these connections in progress create problems. So my goal is for you to connect that to that, because it's this one that stays the same, and this one wants to connect that one to that one, because it's the one that changes. It's also valid for you to have you connect to that, and do it this way. Eventually that needs to connect to that with this. I can't do it from back here, so it has to happen on this side. But I have to do so without losing access to this beam in the process. Which would mean you'd have to be in the back. I don't know how you do the interim steps of this one. This is wild. These got hard, which you'd expect, but damn. This one still counts as open. So it's all connected all the way around, except for the fact that that's the only source. So if I pick that one up, this one still no longer is opening it from the inside. The fact that it's connected is an illusion. So how do I invert that one? This one's a lot to hold in your head at once. So that means I can't take anything back. Okay, well, this allows me to take this inside. Can't pick this up, right? Because it'll disconnect. It allows me to remove that connection. It doesn't open this side from this side, so that's not a connection that makes any sense. Okay, these are getting tough. I just need to get it out this door, but I need to figure out how to hold the door open. And being able to take this inside might be helpful for some step, but it also has to come back outside, so eventually I need to be able to hold the door open via things that are set up on this side. I was testing out whether or not like switching these two connectors makes sense. Because it feels intuitive that you at least would try to move that way. But I don't think it amounts to much. The question is how I can use the extra connector to simplify or cut off the circuit and then move it around, which is what needs to happen. Well, the goal is to self-sustain through this side of things. So can I at least switch them on this side? There it is. I didn't hear a sound. There we go. I need to move that though. Okay. And there was my goal, was to connect red to red. So I should be done with you now. Which means I can now connect you to you. Which means I can now remove you. Okay. I was on the right track taking that there and trying to swap it with that, but I wasn't quite doing it in the right places. So now we should just be done with the puzzle.
Creating Miranda was an act of defiance in a way. To bring a new life into existence and say, this is good, this is fundamentally good, because human beings are unique and valuable, and every single one of them enriches the universe just by existing. We wanted to celebrate that, and to have a personal connection to the life we created, to be invested in each other the way it was in the beginning, to be parents.
But in their pursuit of recreating humanity and parenthood and life, they recreated death. Which both was and wasn't inevitable. Like, the way that she died didn't need to happen, but death exists even when you are immortals. It just takes way longer. Robots are obviously not impervious to the very concept of ceasing to function. Forgot about how strangely this was located. Once upon a time, it gave me the vibe this whole thing was going to be laid out differently. Like World 2 was going to fundamentally be shaped differently than the first world was. And it wasn't. It was and it wasn't. Because we did not go up onto a little arc and spend the rest of the story there. Hello.
What's up, 1K?
How are you feeling?
There's still some part of me that's afraid that things will go wrong. I don't know if I can ever really shake that, but I do feel hopeful. I think things are finally going to get better.
What's up with those puzzles with the golden gates?
I'm not sure. There seems to be one per site. Maybe they open up when you complete the rest of them? I've only had a brief look at them with the drone, and they look complicated. But maybe that's just me. You know how I am with puzzles.
Thanks, I have to go. Okay, this was one of the levels where it was beginning to strain credulity a bit just how much they spread things out over the course of the map. But being spread across a bunch of mountain paths was not quite what I thought things were going for when I first took that beam up onto that ship. Bringing back the clones. The Tower. New poem. There was a tower waiting for me. I see it on the horizon, and every day it grows closer. It has been a companion on my journey, but I feared the day I will reach it, for I have loved this road, and the fields and the hills it has shown me. But the tower waits, and I can only hope that from its heights, I will see other roads and other towers, and dream of journeys yet to come. Thank you, Yamesh. I find your words deeply moving. Beautiful work. This poem makes me strangely sad. That's not unexpected. I felt a kind of sadness when I wrote it too, but I also felt hope. I don't get it. Sort of wish I did, but poetry always leaves me confused. That's pretty common, Pellegrino, and nothing to be ashamed of. We're often taught to treat poetry like it's a secret message with only some people can decipher, but poetry is really a kind of music. It's not an intellectual pursuit, but something that can be, or not something that can be analyzed and dissected, but needs to be felt, to be spoken, to be sung. If you find the melody in the words, you'll understand it. I mean, it can be analyzed. It requires some level of interpretation at times. But no, I'm always really bad at poetry. Hello, me. It's been a while.
Hello, me. It's me again.
Press that button to get a box. There's a blue beam hidden in a shitty place. Red beam hidden behind that. Need a blue beam to open that gate, I guess, and a red beam to open that other type of gate? Why two different types of gates, I wonder? This one stops beams, but so does the other one, so... Wee... Come get the box, me. Bye. Question is, do I want me or the box? The two don't line up, so it's not going to bounce back and forth. Okay, that's worth noting. That's a window you can shoot a laser through. But at what cost? Okay, you can line it up from here. But now I need this red connected to there. Ah. As expected, it does move the gate again. Why a gate? Why not just a blue barrier? It might just be so you can see through it to see the other thing. Huh. So what's currently confusing me is that I don't have a second laser connector, right? It's like, how do I connect this to this while also keeping this gate open which requires the blue connection from there to there. Okay. So technically possible to reach the blue and the red, which makes me think that I need to keep a guy in here to move it, and then just look back at this guy to move it. But that means I need to get him back across. Because somebody needs to be on the other side. Which, like, this box might serve a similar purpose to what I'm doing so far. Yeah, we can't remove these. But I don't think this is gonna work. Because now, while I can now walk over here, I can step on this button to make it possible to connect that to that, but I can't then leave. So I think I need the box to be on this side. But I can't send the box over the wall without leaving the room. You almost can, and that you can do something like that. But then you need to be able to be inside this room to connect the blue to the blue. Which I can't do with myself either. Now when I'm over here, I can't send myself over. That definitely makes you feel like you're missing one more object. So how do we compensate for the lack of an extra piece? Ah. That's all connected. Can I get away with being in here? Because if I'm in here, then we don't need the blue anymore. and can pivot entirely to red, but there's the question of whether or not you can solve everything from this perspective. Because now he can't move. But I have a box. So if I take this... Yes. There we go.
After Miranda died, Athena started crumbling. It wasn't just the death of our daughter, it was everything. The burden of century after century of trying to keep the flame alive, trying to make Alexandra Drennan's sacrifice worth it, while everyone else got caught up in their petty personal problems. Even with me there, she was lonely. She felt responsible for everyone, as if she could change the tides of history by will alone. And I can understand why, because she kind of did.
It's too much to put on someone. But who do you put stuff on when there's almost no one left? The elevator, right? There we go. Big lift. Ustinov on optimism. I think pessimism is completely out of date. I think that's a romantic indulgence. I don't think anyone can afford to be pessimistic anymore. I mean, there's so much more that can go wrong. Optimism's the only thing possible anymore. I've always thought that an optimist was a person who knew exactly how sad a place the world could be, and a pessimist is a man who finds out anew every morning. That's the real difference. No. I'm obviously optimistic because you simply have to be. It's an obligation to be optimistic. Peter Ustinov, co-star of the Talos Principle, 1961. To me, this sounds exactly like what Alexander Drennan would have believed. That's why I ultimately decided to support Byron. I think he understands how sad the world is, but also remains optimistic. He will be disappointed. People will always disappoint you in the end. You've misunderstood the entire point of the quotation, Ovis. That disappointment is already baked into your concept of optimism. Optimism is knowing people like you exist, but having hope anyway. Ouch. True, though. Damn. Truth or truth. The meditation built into a final lap. Ta-da! Remember these places? Remember this puzzle? Oh, it's the Rivers Islands place. It's not really rivers, it's an ocean, whatever. But all the islands. This place took a while to explore. Embodied cognition. Cognition. The Great Conjunction is the end of the world. Right. Cool wall, bro. Red portal? But why? Right. Whoops. Oh. Blue. But the issue here is that the other beam's in the way. So the blue beam is in there. And this is my destination, which I assume requires both the blue and red beams at the same time over here. Red part's easy enough, but I can't get a blue charge over here very easily. I can do whatever I want from over here. I can't really connect that. Weird that it works this way. I guess it's because drawing that one out. And unfortunately can't grab the blue beam from this angle. Do I do it like this? From the inside? Send it back at it? Then open it from out here? So that you can then give me the blue? To open it from this side? Basically, except I need to connect you to this also. Unexpected problem. All right, that's gonna be a problem. So, yeah, now it's blocking the course to the red beam. Which makes it so I can't suck up the blue beam. And this does have to be the blue beam, and that has to be the red beam. Because if this was red beam connecting this to this, there's no way to get this inside the shape. That does raise the question of how I get the red beam in the first place. Alright, so I think I need to start over. So the issue I'm facing here is that if I do this, I can't pick this up to connect that afterwards. Like, I can't make this red by attaching to that, then send it there, and then just pick this one up and be like, yeah, get that one too. You have to pick it up. When you pick it up, you close this door. Which would be okay if I could open this door again using the red beam, but that was our original problem. So you can't take it out. Going from this angle, it'll never connect. Or from this angle, you shut off the door. Which I can then never reconnect. Not at a rate that lets me do anything about it. So taking this step largely just resets me back to stage 1. There's a step that I'm missing. I don't know what this game wants. These steps feel correct. Even if I always mess up this part and I have to go back a little bit. But by golly, if I just don't see what to do next here. And there's no height changes. You can usually assume that, because that would break everything. It's just so close to working. Embodied cognition. Don't know what to do with that name. It is funny that these still work. They'll let you skip the golden puzzles. I mean, that's when you probably need it the most, but if you came this far, you're probably not one to skip puzzles. I wonder how many puzzles people skip on average. Is it less than 1 on average because of how many people will never do it? Contradiction's hard to split. It feels wild to me because it's like the closest it's just so close. We're like one step removed. I have all of these steps. I just need this red beam to connect. It just fucking won't. No. Your body! Embodied cognition. Oh god. That's what they're hinting at?
Athena, Miranda's death was final, and it was the finality of it that was so unbearable. Even with the technology we were creating, there was no way of reaching back into time to save her. We were moving forward, relentlessly. The days flying by, and with every day, Miranda was further away. I think that was the first time I really understood what it means that time is a dimension. I could measure the distance between us in minutes, hours, days, years. But if what broke Athena was accepting that distance, for me, it was the opposite. I refused to accept it. The universe had already taken so much from us. It didn't get to take my daughter.
A distance that only grows. And the horror that implies. It's like watching a door close, then drift away. Permanently. Alright. Deer. These aren't massively kicking my ass, but they're definitely taking me significantly longer than the rest of the puzzles. If I end up averaging 4 an episode like this, then it's gonna take a bit longer. Just a couple more episodes, but probably the slowest I've ever gone. What was it called? The Rearranger. Tunneler. That red laser's probably the end. Maybe. Oh. Blue beam. Blue destination. This one's gonna be particular. So we have like 5 items and we have like 5 items to choose from, but like 2 items in play basically. There's a box hiding back there. Okay, my final destination is probably that blue then. So I need the red to get in here. Not sure what we'll do with the tunneler. Oh. Was I supposed to be able to reach that? That feels like I wasn't supposed to be able to reach it. The way that it was behind a cliff that had a box. I guess I could just grab the box really easily, so it's not like there was a ton of puzzle there. We have our own box there. If I reach the next box, then another item is in play. Oh my god, okay. Shitballs. There's another fan. Fans are universally useless in this level because there's no actual fan. They just increase your budget. I have to keep this network going for a while. So given that we have a tunneler, you can optimize out opening this door, except you can't because you still have to go there on foot, right? Not sure what you're supposed to do. I was just thinking about that with the box. I can extend the laser range by putting the laser down all the way over here, and still opening this door with it. But then the next one is red, so I can't connect that to skip a step because it requires it being the other color. But I can't use the inverter because it does have to be the same color as this one. I still may want to do that just to connect that there. The best trick is actually to move you forward. That now it goes this deep, but now I need red. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. They've given me another fan, which means I can just have one more item in play. The tunneler feels like it's what they want me to use. It almost makes sense. With the tunneler, I can connect that to that without using an inverter. Because I could just use this. But then this will close. I don't currently have the means of keeping that open. Isn't it supposed to spin? Maybe it only does that when it's not being used. With the box, you can elevate something slightly so that the beams can go past each other, but for once I don't think I'm having a conflict with the beams hitting each other. I suppose I might want to box under that if I had another connection to connect that to that, but I don't have the excess connection available. And this tunneler doesn't let me bypass this, so I still need the blue beam in here. And we have one regular connector, two regular connectors, and one inverter. Yeah, like it's not an option to connect these. Because this is here. It's so close to making sense. Surely I used this, right? But there's no more lasers, just boxes. Can't disconnect that or the whole thing doesn't go anywhere. I don't think I can stack two boxes to see over the wall. So we're not getting a shortcut that way either. So if we're definitely using this, then how are we using it? We don't need a special angle so much because I could just shoot around it, but it's maybe an opportunity to cut out this force field entirely. Optimize. If I can take it through, then we don't need this force field anymore. There we go. That's what you were for.
I could not accept that my daughter was gone. Her body was destroyed, obliterated. But we're more than just a body. We're a pattern, a melody in ones and zeros. And I was convinced that somewhere, somehow, that melody still existed. I just couldn't believe that it didn't. I refused to. That thought consumed me. In some ways, it broke me. But I didn't give up. Not every obsession has to be fought, you know. The easy way isn't always the right one.
Not every obsession has to be fought. We're halfway there again. This is where we ended up after our friend was taken. I wonder how they feel about transporter problem type questions, those kinds of conundrums, because, like, do they care about the idea that in the process of recreating someone, you're just recreating them? That's not, that there's no continuity, so it's not like you brought the same person back to life, you just managed to perfectly recreate them, which is functionally almost the same thing from your perspective, but not from theirs. But maybe that kind of perspective's harder to maintain to begin with when you are already artificial. Not sure. Hello there.
Yes?
What do you think of the situation in New Jerusalem?
Now that Byron's in charge, I feel less stuck. The city is coming back to life, and I can do things that matter. Feels good.
So everything that surrounds us is a dream printed into reality.
Well, that explains the discrepancies between all those schematics you found and the actual megastructure. It's all been transformed by Athena's dream. No wonder it was driving me potty. Driving me potty? What kind of bizarre idiot came up with that expression? I'm serious. The moment we're done with this, I'm going to sit down and update the language libraries, and I'm going to put in every swear word in every language ever invented.
What did you do while I was being repaired?
After Byron woke up, he enlisted me for his campaign. He said I was the only one who could really explain just how broken New Jerusalem really is. I think this might have been the first time people actually really listened to me.
I should get back to work. We have a canon explanation in-game for why no one swears. As according to the age rating. Go figure.